everybody, welcome to Red Tool House. In this video I want to talk about what is the ideal size log to mill on a home band mill. Now that's kind of a loaded question, but I just want to take you through the selection process that I go through based upon what I'm trying to do. And actually the first selection criteria I make is species. What species do I want because of the project I'm working on? So for example, where we've been working on our barn, if I was doing barn siding, then I'd want to choose a poplar. If I was doing structural wood, like the 2x4s, the 2x8s, all that type of stuff, then I would go with our Virginia pine. Both would work fine either way, but that's kind of the direction I'm going. So I would choose a species. If I was going to do something in woodworking, then obviously I'd choose a different hardwood. I'd probably choose an oak, depending on what I'm doing, a maple. Again, that's the first criteria, is the species. Well, actually, my second criteria, where's that criterium? Oh, you get those backwards. Data, datum, criteria. Anyway, second thing I look for is location. And by that, I just simply mean, can I get to it easily? And also, is it in an area where I want to have less trees? There's certain places on 100 acres where, hey, I'd like to have it completely forested, kind of leave it alone, let it do its thing. And then there's other areas where we want to clear out some trees. We want to open up some what I consider pasture or silvopasture type things, introduce pigs and some other animals into these areas. So that comes into play. And this location where I'm standing right now is an area that eventually I'd like to have some animals on. So we want to thin this canopy out, let some of these grasses grow up. Well, the third thing I look for, and is the subject of our video today, is size. And by size, I mean not only the diameter of the tree, but also the height and the straightness of the tree. So for example, I'm standing here, I've got a road, actually it comes right down to where I'm standing and dead ends. See, there's a pile of dirt behind me, we have the dozer here. So I now have access to an area that I had not had access to before. And I've discovered that I've got some nice poplar in here. Poplar I don't leave behind for silvopasture, because obviously they don't produce any fruit, or they don't produce any nuts for the pig. Now obviously their flowers are good for pollinators, blah, blah, blah. But I want the poplar out of here. So I've got this poplar that's decently tall. It's got some pretty good bends in it. And it's only about, if I had to guess, I'd say 12 inches in diameter, maybe less. So not necessarily my first choice if I was looking to get a lot of milling done. Right behind me here is another, kind of a sister tree, that is a lot straighter. In fact, it's probably 20 feet till you get to the first little bend. It too is about 12, maybe 14 inches in diameter, and it's still accessible to my road. But over here is where I would go, and where I am going. There's a poplar here. That sapling's blocking the shot here or not. There's a poplar here that is pretty straight. I mean, it's up to the first branch, which is about, if I had to guess, I'd say about 30 feet. It's pretty straight, and diameter, we're probably talking about 18 inches in diameter. So that's a good sized tree. So I'm going to pick that one, and that's what we're going to mill. It also depends too on what I'm trying to do. In this situation, I want to mill 7-inch wide boards for my siding of the barn and to finish out the flooring on our loft extension of the barn. So sometimes a bigger log isn't necessarily better. When I'm trying to get the cant down to 7 inches and start cutting 7 inches off of that, 7 inches wide, then there's a lot of extra log that needs to be cut away. With this log, if it's truly 18 inches in diameter, I could probably end up with a 15 or 14 inch square cant. Now it'd be awesome if I could end up with a 14 inch square cant, because then I'd cut it in half, and then I could obviously get 7s out of both of those. But we'll see. We'll see what we get here. Okay, for those of you keeping score at home, you may be wondering, Troy, what are you going to break now? Well, since I am recording right now, I don't know what I'm going to break yet. If you're watching this with friends and you've turned this into a drinking game, or if you're going to place your bets, I'll pause here for a second so you can get your wagers taken. Okay, let's get to work. Obviously I make jokes about that, but those of you that aren't familiar with our channel, don't take safety lightly at all. Okay, since we got it on the ground safely, right where I wanted it to, and for those of you wondering, yes, I did pull the nails back out of the tree where I had my camera hanging, so I won't find those with the mill. Okay, so I'm going to cut this poplar at the maximum, so it's about 40 feet, right below the first crotch in the tree. But I don't think I'm going to skid a 40-foot log through the woods. It's like the old cartoons where the kid's got the 2x4 and he's trying to fit through the small doors. That's what it's going to be like in the woods. So I'm going to cut this, and we're at least going to drag it out to the point where I can get it on the road, and then I can cut it into smaller pieces. You need to back up behind that poplar. Good. Okay, so we've got the two logs, actually one log that I had to cut in half because my tractor didn't have enough rear end to pull that 40-foot log out of there. Now, I was estimating where to cut this. You can see I was walking it off with my feet. And you guys compliment me at times on how I like to show my mistakes, and I don't hide from those. And you're right, if we didn't show our mistakes, we wouldn't have much video to show. But I do want to show when something actually works out. So my game plan was to take a 40-foot log and try to cut it in half. And even the 40-foot log was an estimate. I was just eyeballing it because I only measured to 25 feet with my 25-foot tape. But log number one here, which is actually the taller portion of the tree, the upper portion, so it was the second log I drug out, is exactly 239 inches, actually a cat's whisker under, which is 1 inch under 20 feet. And the hits keep on coming, people. If we come over here to this log, the base log, and we measure from where I cut to the top of my bird's mouth, which is what I consider the first start of the good log, it is 200, here's my bird's mouth, it is 242 inches long, which is 2 inches over 20 feet. So I ask you, what has two thumbs and can estimate logs good? This guy. So now we will plan for mealtime. And I think we'll stop there. Take care, everybody.